The Athene Real Talk Podcast explores controversial ideas to stimulate debate and active thinking. These ideas do not always reflect Athene's personal views. Welcome to the Athene Real Talk Podcast.
He has been called the best gamer in the world, hands down.
World-famous gamer and philanthropist Athene.
Gaming for Good, it's called, has raised more than $20 million.
Using his notoriety to raise money for charity.
On activism, science, culture, and self-development.
Proud to have him in the studio today. I would not want to take you on in a video game.
Today I actually learned the recipe of truth, to put it that way. And it's quite baffling. It's quite scary at the same time. It is also very relieving. I've always been talking to people coming over here, saying like, when you don't make it about yourself, you can work with like-minded people, change the world. Everybody here doesn't care so much about themselves. They care about having an impact. And as a result, since they don't make it about themselves, they don't have to be afraid of each other taking advantage or whatever. Because taking advantage is something you do when you want to get something from someone, because you're selfish. If you don't make it about you, there's not so much you can take. You just have this really giving, unconditional giving mindset. In psychology, they talk about the scarcity mindset, where you never have enough and you always want more and more and more, and the abundance mindset, where you just go like, yeah, I got enough. I don't mind giving. And it's something you can actually train through gratitude meditation. If you do some gratitude meditation, even if you have this scarcity mindset, you can relieve this scarcity by realizing that there is no threat, you're fine. This primitive state where you immediately go like, oh, I need to survive or whatever, fades away as you realize everything is fine and you can give as much as you want. Of course, though, you have to want to overcome it, because a lot of people, they are so busy with themselves, they don't even care about gratitude, meditation, whatever, because they're so trapped inside this mindset of more, taking everything for granted, even though sometimes it's a living hell. And that's why I'm overall much more happy than people that are in that mindset, even though I could be even more happy being selfish if I wanted to, because I have all these insights. But if you don't have all these insights, then you will have a very hard time. Still, I choose to do what is right, not to do what is wrong, and that's why I'm having this place, allowing people to come over. But something really big happened, and I started realizing, and this is very important, if you want to do anything in the scientific world, you need to be able to measure it. How do you measure whether someone you can trust or you can't trust? Because if you could do that, damn shit son, the world would look very different. Because those you can't trust would just end up uniting, and those you can't trust would just be all these little islands in the planet. But the people that do care and are trustable would unite and collectively would have much more impact and be able to steer the world in the direction for change much more than these selfish little islands could do damage. But of course right now it's really hard. Because there is no way, there is no method, there is no measurement, there is no knowledge to know what distinguish someone that is selfish to someone that is not selfish. We think like, oh, there is like a scale and all that shit. We have a lot of benefit of the doubt. We don't know so well. And as a result, people that are selfless end up not knowing what to do, being very careful, which sometimes turns them into selfish people themselves because they don't want to fall into the trap of being taken advantage of. But today I realized what it is. I've uncovered the secret, the scheme, the layers, the mask everybody's wearing. And I can just pop it. And little did I know that the answer was in me. When people talk to me, I always say like, no matter what I do, I always have an agenda. No matter what I do. Whenever I talk to someone, there's always a reason why I do it. I want to have an impact. So I always think, is this plus EV? Is this plus EV? Does this help the world? Does this help the world? And based on that, I decide my actions all the time. From the morning until the night. That's it. It's quite simple. Although I always thought like, I'm very structured, maybe logic, whatever. Other people seem to be more impulsive and more going with the flow. So maybe there's just a discrepancy, right? But I realized that everybody is like that. That's the beauty of cause and effect, action, reaction, reality, the fabric of reality in life. Everything has a reason. And the same applies to everybody else as well. Everybody, whenever they do anything, they always have a motive. And I didn't know that before. I realize that now. And if life is about you, then everything you do is to get better out of it. All of it. Even the good. Even donating to charity or whatever. You do it to feel good or whatever. It's always in that little framework of about yourself. You know what the beauty is about that? Because some people that are a little bit more insecure don't want to accept that. They lie to themselves. But if you're really honest and you go to the bottom, then you just admit that. And I have to give America props for that, because you guys are fucking good at it. You are just purely honest about that. Ain't all about me. It's all about me. And if someone gets to scam you or whatever, you don't even feel a sense of wrong or right. You just go like, good job, you hustled me. Although for me, it's really hard to wrap my head around that kind of mindset, because to me, I go through life where it's not about me. So I see these things wrong and right, and I go like, how can people not have any kind of compass of doing what is right? I mean, these guys are so desensitized, it's insane. But of course, there's also people that do care. Problem is, when you do care in a world where everybody's just about themselves, you get eaten alive. So it's very important to find and figure out how to distinguish one and the other, to find like-minded people. But if you understand that it's binary, then it's just about figuring out whether the person is selfish or not. And that goes really quick. You immediately see whether people have a life about themselves or not. There's people that came over here. Sometimes some people cry, are a little bit unconfident, looking like that, going blah, blah. And I just go to them like, hey, I know that all your motives go back to you. I understand it. And I also understand that all this is just an act. All of it. Like going like, you're just busy with yourself. Every road leads to you trying to get better out of it. Every road leads to your own selfishness. I know it, I understand it. So it is fine. You can stop pretending. You can just go and think, do you want to make life about you? Or do you want to make life about what it is? And it's bigger than you. And that's it. You don't have to pretend, because I see it. Little did I know that I could save myself hours and hours, even days, of my time trying to understand these fuckers. Because what happened was, when I was really like that blunt, one guy came inside this room. The guy was really unconfident as fuck. Social anxiety, all that shit. He was there, standing after coming a few hours. Straight up, looking confident in my eyes. Really almost like, man, I've been exposed, might as well drop my entire fucking act. I'm sorry to tell you, but I decided to stay an ass. And he just left. Really confident. Second guy, also very inconfident, always crying. Confident. It's almost like they've got enlightened to find their true selfish nature or something. Just comes here and says, I'm selfish. And just left. I'm like, damn shit, son. You gotta let people just come here, just blatantly tell me like, I don't care. And then he walks out the side and starts crying, saying like, oh, I'm gonna miss you guys, this and that. Fuck you. Comes here with a straight face, going like, I'm selfish. Then afterwards, immediately starts doing his act because he thinks it works with the people outside. But to me, he knows I see him for what he is. So he doesn't even try. And that's the beauty. If you understand and can distinguish the selfish people that don't care at all, then you don't trust them. It's easy. You can just expose them. And then the people that do care can unite and change the fucking world. How beautiful is it? It's so nice to understand that every single action has a motive. Everything. And if you can put it back to your desire to just make it about you, and all the rest is just some fluff, then it's very easy to distinguish. So yeah, for everybody that's watching the stream right now, I mean, like, you can go from selfless to selfish and from selfish to selfless, depending on your lack of understanding or whatever the fuck. But at the end of the day, if you don't make it about you, I can tell you this place is filled with like-minded people. You can truly trust. You won't get backstabbed because nobody takes advantage of you. It's amazing. It's actually quite beautiful if you think about it. That is how simple it is. I don't have to do all this self-development bullshit and all that stuff. Self-development is for selfish people that make it about them. The real talk becomes very simple. If you make life about you, it's because you have a scarcity mindset, because you take everything for granted. Go do some gratitude meditation. Get out of that. And by going out of that, you will feel more and more relieved. When you're in an abundance mindset and you're not selfish anymore, when you don't make it about yourself all the time, you don't have to be scared being surrounded by hyenas trying to take a piece of you. No, you can join forces with people that truly care. That's what this place is about. And we're going to conquer the world. Because no matter how strong these selfish fucks are, they're all and everybody about themselves. They don't have the ability to have the power and impact that we do. But it was all about being able to distinguish them. Because if you can't distinguish them, every single structure, organization gets rotten from within. It's like people dying from cancer, because it is cancer. But if you know how to spot the cancer and remove it, you can start creating a framework, an organization, a movement that is pure, that reflects your own pure intentions. You know how big of a deal this is? This will have a huge impact. And all the selfish fucks in the chat, I see where you come from. It's all about you anyway, so it stops me from caring about you. It's quite easy. I'll care about people that actually care. I've always had this feeling of trying to save you guys, trying to help you guys, but now I understand it's a choice. It's in your hands. It's not in mine, so I can let go. Either way, for the people wondering, Doku is actually going to be released hopefully next month. It's going really nice. Also the app. But hey, don't have to wait for that. People that are really selfless, understand this stuff, join forces, man. Can change the world together. Don't have to be surrounded by selfish dicks. There's 21 people I talked to about this that were selfish. And out of these 21, only 2 people decided to not make it about themselves. And 19 left. They just said, I'm selfish fox. And the 2 people that did decide to not make life about themselves were both valuing consistency. Because if I gave the example of like, okay, imagine you're in German World War II, you can send Jews to the gas chamber. People said, I won't do it because I feel bad. But the moment I said, but imagine you don't feel bad, then they said like, yeah, then I would do it. But these 2 guys were going like, yeah, but what if I was the Jew family? And that's the thing. If you value consistency, then that's the first thing you do. You see yourself in others because you understand that there is no difference between you and them. Sending them is almost as much as sending myself. Like, I'm not going to do that. It's wrong. And that's why these 2 people managed to say it. The other people said like, yeah, even if I am the others, I'm not. I don't give a shit. So it's really like take. So I do think it has a lot to do with abundance and with scarcity mindset. An abundance mindset can be trained through gratitude meditation. How do you get selfish people to do gratitude meditation? Saying like, hey, you're going to be more happy. Nanoxid says, moms care mostly about their children. Does that mean we should mostly care about family members? No, it just allows you to understand that being inherently selfish just doesn't work and that it is about caring. Also, moms caring mainly about children, that's not fully accurate. Like that is the case in our society today. But if you go to certain other societies, you have cultures and tribes that are very community driven, where moms care more about the tribe than their own children. Just so you know. It depends how you grow up, of course. But the sense of structure and caring is crucial, is vital for a society to work. But right now it's being taken care of by government and all bureaucracy and money. So as a result, the sense of community and what bonds us is not so much a requirement to survive, and as a result we lose touch with what actually allowed us to get these rights to begin with. We become more and more selfish, and as a result corporations and companies and politicians and whatever can take advantage of that and push more away rights that our ancestors fought for because they had a better moral compass about sense of community and caring than we do today. So basically, we're literally slowly but surely becoming victim of our own cancerous ripple effect of society taking away the need to care about each other. But then as a result, as it scales and ripples, it reflects itself back in society. I want to ask you guys, by the way, a question. And it's a very important one. If you understand that all actions, everything you do has a motive, while for me it is point towards having an impact, for most of you guys, if not all of you guys, it is yourself. And the moment you realize that everything you do is just for yourself, it makes you aware that for some people, not everyone, but for some people, it makes them feel like they're a monster and they don't want to be like that. And my question is there anyone on the stream that actually experiences that? Because I have seen it here with several people. The few people that actually, managed to make the decision were really right before saying like, but I'm really terrible. And said like, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to make life about me. It's insane. So I just wonder, does anyone have that? Because it's quite scary to see your face and go like, everything I do is for myself. What the fuck am I doing? Because if you really feel like a monster, right? I mean, just choose to do what is right. Choose to not make it about yourself. And it can have quite a relieving experience as well. It can actually help you let go. And you can join like-minded people that won't backstab you, that you can fully trust. Because I understand that on a certain level, you're always looking out like, oh, I'm going to get stabbed, I'm going to get stabbed. I can't be taken advantage of. But if you're selfless, right? Or if you don't make it about yourself, I don't like to call it selfless, because if you don't make it about yourself, this environment, it gives you so much hope. But being selfless is not everything right there. Are other selfless people in the world that achieve nothing? I agree with you, Nanox, but not being selfish is the first step. If you're not selfish and you are in this environment, you will start growing exponentially. Because it's the initial spark needed to start your own enlightenment, to put it that way. Because once you don't make it about yourself, you have true intentions. And when you have true intentions, you can look at things more honestly, being a lot less biased. And then as you get more and more understanding, you become more and more reasonable and have a bigger and bigger picture and have a bigger and bigger impact. But it all starts with not making it about you. If you make it about you, you have bad intentions, you take everything for granted, and a lot of shit just doesn't work because you ain't honest. And even this environment can't do so much. That's why people end up leaving all the time.
Subscribe to youtube.com/AtheneWins. Watch the live stream at twitch.tv/AtheneLive and follow The Real Athene on Snapchat.